Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, family. How we doing out there? How we doing out there? Hold on, let me make some adjustments. Shalom, Shabbat shalom. I hope we're having a blessed Sabbath out there. We're getting ready to get off into the children's lesson for the day. Then it'll be followed up by praise and worship, and then the main lesson. All right. So first things first, we're going to get into the Ten Commandments. All right. Let's see something. Children lesson. Alright. You ready? You shall have no other gods before me. Alright. So what are some of those other gods that we shouldn't have before the Most High?
Money.
What else?
Magazines.
Fame. Not just magazines, but fame. What's in the magazine? Alright. People that like fame can become a person's god, because if you start worshiping somebody that's known over the Most High, then that's idolatry, right? Money, fame, power, all right, being in control can be like a god, right? All right, so you shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol, right? You shall not make for yourself an idol. But really, in the Bible, of course, this is not the best translation. You should not make for yourself, you should not make any graven images that from anything that's in heaven above, or in the earth beneath, or in the water under the earth. So you can't even make up a fish and start praying to it, right? And you shouldn't bow down to these things, right?
Right.
So you see how it's got the statue there?
Yes.
Right? That would be like a graven image. Right? We cannot make this our God. We cannot bow down to it. It don't answer us back. We can't talk to it and hold a conversation, and it don't answer us back. Right? Right? So you shall have no other gods before me. You should not make for yourself an idol. All right. Of course, we got a little boy playing a video game here, where of course, he's putting his energy and time and effort into this, and not into prayer and to reverencing the Most High, right? Right. It says, you shall not misuse the name of Yahuwah Elohim, right? One of the ways to misuse his name is what?
Swearing.
Yeah, swearing or taking an oath and not upholding that oath in his name. So now you're using his name in vain, right? That's one way, okay? Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, all right? How can we keep the Sabbath day holy?
Read the Bible.
We can read the Bible.
Pray.
We can pray.
Watch vegetables.
Read the Bible, pray, watch VeggieTales. You can also just straight up get some rest. That's what the Sabbath is for, right? Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land that Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you. Shalom, shalom. Alright? Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land that Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you. So, what are some of the ways we can honor our father and mother?
Follow the instruction. Follow the instruction.
Follow the instructions, right? Right, the things that they tell you, you do them to the best of your ability. All right. Also, another way to honor your father and your mother is by always keeping their name good, never talking down on them, telling things that you feel may embarrass them. You know what I mean? That's one of the ways to honor your father and your mother. We just going into the Ten Commandments right now. Alright? So far we went into, you shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol. You shall not misuse the name of Yahuwah your Elohim. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. Honor your father and your mother. Alright, so we just wrapping this one up. And now we are at here. You shall not murder. Alright? What's the difference between murder and self-defense? Speak up.
Murder is premeditated.
Murder is premeditated, right? Right? And self-defense, shalom, shalom. And self-defense would be,
It just happened.
it just happened, right? So somebody tried to break into your house and you defend yourself because you may be a licensed gun owner, or you just defend yourself with hands, and somehow, some way you overpower the robber, right? And you end up killing him. That's not necessarily murder, even though somebody died, right? All right, so you shall not murder. You should not commit adultery. You should not steal, right? You shall not steal. All right, you see a woman here. She is stealing from a store. All right, looking to see if a store clerk is actually going to catch her. Even though now it doesn't give her backstory, but she could possibly be poor. But that's the thing. See, the Most High never said you should not steal unless you're poor, right? So there's no stipulation. There's no exception. You should not steal, right? She could have asked for something, okay? So it's still wrong. Even though some people, now it's up to the store owner if he wants to say, if you want to not call the police and just throw her out of the store and let her keep the food, he can be merciful in that way. But the fact of the matter is, it's still wrong, okay? You got here, you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. All right, you should not give false testimony against your neighbor. Now, you have two boys here. One has hit. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. So you have a boy here that's hit a ball through a window, right? And when he hit the ball through the window, he blamed this young man here. So you see in this situation, and then you got the homeowner that's trying to decide who's wrong. This is important. The reason this is important because we have to remember how ancient Israel, they was actually a family. I always like to point this out. And so when it talks about your neighbor, it's actually talking about family members. All right, so all of them came from Jacob, with the exception of those that was a part of the mixed multitude that came out of Egypt with Israel. So they all was family, right? So when you say you should not give false testimony against your neighbor, you're actually talking about your brother, your sister, your cousin. These are actual family members, okay? You shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. Again, that neighbor means your family, but in this situation here, you see a woman and she is lusting after her next door neighbor's possessions, and she covet or lust leads to other sins. So coveting could lead to you wanting to steal, but then it may call, if you go and steal because you like their possessions, what if they catch you in the act and now you have to fight this person, you end up killing them. So now you just broke two laws, but then ultimately it's idolatry because you decided to rob from your neighbor, and the Most High said thou should not steal. So you go against his commandments, and when you go against his commandments, you go against him. All right? All right, so that's the 10 commandments. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol. You shall not misuse the name of Yahuwah your Elohim. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. Honor your father and your mother, so that your days may be long in the land that the Most High has given you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. And you shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. All right? All right, so we're going to go into the regular lesson.
Right.
What? Okay, hurry up. Y'all have a Bible? I need a Bible. So, shalom, shalom. All right, so we going to open up to Proverbs 17 and 15. Proverbs 17 and 15. All right, name of this lesson is Justifying Wickedness and Hating Righteousness. Okay. Let me know when y'all there. That's Proverbs 17 and 15. 17 and verse 15.
This is Paul's.
I need help finding it? 17 and verse 15.
Okay, we got it.
All right. All right, so this is Proverbs 17 and verse 15. He that justifies the wicked and he that condemns the just, even they both are an abomination to Yahuwah. He that justifies the wicked, right? So do we know what justifying, what does it mean to justify?
Like make it sound like it's okay.
Right, make something sound like it's okay, right? So, to show or prove something to be all right. So that's just the word justify. Now, to justify the wicked would be like what we said here. Let's use like we was going over the 10 Commandments, right? And we got a situation where a woman is stealing. Now, like I said, it doesn't give her a backstory, but she's stealing some food and she could be poor. And then say if you have the store clerk that catches her and decides to press charges and call the police, right? But then somebody else come and say, well, she's poor. That's why she was stealing. But what she did was still evil. So, they're trying to justify what she did because the fact that she was poor, they're saying, okay, it's all right for her to steal, but it's not all right for her to steal. Stealing is stealing, right? It's not, you can't justify that. The Most High says, thou shalt not steal, right? So that's just an example of justifying the wicked. You have lawyers. When you think about our system, the law system, that would say, they will protect people that's actually guilty, all right? But because they're making money, that's what give them the authority to go and they feel like that gives them the authority to go and protect these people, okay? But in all reality, they protecting people that's evil. All right, in ancient Israel, if somebody was guilty, and what will happen is they would, like in a situation where, here we can go into this actually. Go to Numbers 15 and 32.
saying?
Numbers chapter 15 and verse 32. Still talking about justifying wickedness, right? Like I was saying, you have lawyers that protect or they'll represent somebody that is guilty. All right, but because of the way this country's laws is laid out, they say, well, everybody has a right to trial, even if they're guilty, caught red-handed, they caught murdering somebody, they caught stealing. 15 and verse 32. But let's see how the Most High gives judgment. All right, y'all have it? Okay. Numbers chapter 15 and verse 32. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks up on the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aharon and unto all the congregation. Now the reason this was an issue was because they was at this point in time they was told to, on the Sabbath day to stay in at this time while they're in the wilderness. All right. And they that found, this is verse 33, and they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aharon and unto all the congregation. And they put him in ward because it was not declared what should be done to him. So they couldn't really judge what would actually be done to him. All right? Hey, pay attention, BJ. Pay attention. They could not actually decide what would be done to him. So what they did was they put him in ward. That's like a jail cell. And so then they go to, let's see what else they did. And they put him in ward because it was not declared what should be done to him. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, the man shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the count. So you have this man getting stoned with stones because he went out on the Sabbath day. How y'all doing? You have this man getting stoned with stones because he went out on the Sabbath day. And that was against the law at this particular time to go out on the Sabbath day, right? So there was no justifying the wicked at this particular time. All right? So there was no justifying the wicked at this particular time. All right, so let's go to Deuteronomy 16. So in the situation where the man was caught gathering sticks, the Most High gave judgment immediately, versus in our system today, you will have a lawyer that'll go and lie for somebody that's not innocent, that's actually guilty of a crime, and they're justifying what we would consider the wicked because they broke a law. They might have murdered somebody, they might have robbed somebody, and now because of the way our country is laid out with their laws, they are allowed a trial. And the Most High did not allow a trial. If you was guilty, then you was punished, period. All right? Y'all there? Deuteronomy 16 and verse 19. Y'all there? Yep. Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 19. It says, "Thou shalt not." This is talking to the judges in Israel.